Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me flip through here really quick. I tried to think of everything that I do. That I use to either keep myself organized, keep my client organized, etc. Or like for follow-up and all kinds of things. And then Andy is going to come in. Andy is the assistant to Susan and helps me as well. She and Allison, who's my assistant, they use a cool system in Zip Forms, which I didn't even know they had, that keeps you organized through your transaction. Because we can forget about things like, holy crap, I didn't order termite clearance. Or, you know, oh my gosh, contingency removal is due in 2 days.
Like a
you'll see. I didn't even know, but you know, hey, pays to have good people around you that, you know, keep you organized. So, but so anyway, it's free, I think, and it's included in Zip Forms. So I'm going to have them come in and talk about it. So let me just look through this.
You want me to come in here now?
No.
Okay.
But just check in. Let me just see where we are on here. Oh, hello, Missy. Come on in.
This is back here. I'm good.
Okay. Here, we'll pass this back to Tracy.
One right here. Okay. You got it.
We're higher than I was expecting. Maybe come back in like 10 minutes. Okay. Awesome. We'll flip to you. So, I don't know how many more people are coming because there were a few people again that couldn't show up because of illness or other things that happened. But what a great group! And it's Monday, and it's inspiring. And I have an inspiring story. One of the agents that could not be here because she's probably ran herself ragged, showing 11 properties yesterday. She's like, I need to drum up stuff. I have a goal of X amount between now and the end of the year. She got on the phone. She called every single buyer, you know, she'd ever talked to, any possible anything. One of them actually happened to be up in the Bay Area. She hadn't connected with him in a while. And she was letting them know that, hey, you know, it's a great time to be buying down here because we're seeing more price reductions. Sellers are a little more flexible. There's less multiple offers. Guess what? He's like, yeah, I'm ready to do something. And he's came down to buy. So, and then I think somebody else as well putting in an offer. So, just you know, there's two people walking, or two kinds of agents, two types of people. Always in life, glass is half full or glass is half empty. So, I've had over the weekend at least 2 conversations with 2 different agents talking about all the stuff that they're hearing from people about the market is tanking, the market is shifting in a, you know, whatever, and you know, oh my gosh. And it just is so interesting to me because I'm like, you have to. It's like my I guess first inspiration in real estate was Brian Tracy. Do you want to be on the island of positive, you know, or do you want to be in the island of negative and, oh my God, the sky is falling? I've always chosen, you know what, there's an opportunity, and there's an opportunity in every market. Honestly, every single time this year, this time of year, in my 17 years of selling real estate, it's slow. Sellers, you know, most of the time the buyers are that are out there, they're going to be trying to get deals. You get a lot of lowball offers. You get a lot of different things. Or if you do have a serious buyer, then there's always an opportunity maybe to get a better deal than you might if you wait till January, February, when the market usually picks up, and then you get into that whatever. So my saying to everybody that brings that the market might be shifting or this and that is, ask me in March, you know, if the market's like this kind of now, where there aren't the multiple offers, or, you know, whatever, then maybe it is. But it's too early to say, and who wants to even talk that way? If there's opportunities, let's get you. The price point works for you, then there you go. The economy is great. So that's what you have to focus on. So walk around with earmuffs and just hang around people that are positive. If you hang around people that are whatever, they're going to drag you down, and I don't want to go there. So just stay on this side, okay? So that's my Monday inspiration. And it really is brought to me by Bunny Booth. Hi, Bunny, who could not be here. She's, again, so sad, but because she's not feeling well and she was out with these people. But good for her for, you know, digging in. She as which many of you heard, is I had a client friend who worked with another agent. It was a nightmare. He came to me, asked for help. There were 3 transactions, and so he had asked for a discount because of the 3 transactions. So I agreed to sell his mother-in-law's property for full price. I agreed to take a 1/4% off on his listing of his current home, and then I agreed to give 0.5% back on his $2 million purchase. So it's basically kind of matching, or I don't think I was matching, but I was giving a discount from what his other friend agent was doing. When we were about 7 days prior to closing of his purchase, so this was about, you know, I don't know, 4 to 6 months had gone by. He gets the closing statement. In his mind, he remembered he was getting half of my commission.
Oh my gosh. That's a lot.
Because you remember what you want to remember, right? My heart sank. My face goes red. And he's on the phone. I'm just hearing this like, what? You know? And I earned every bit of my commission. And I'm like, Sean, no, 0.5%. He's like, no, you said half your commission. And I said, well, I said, let me go back. I'm pretty sure I have an email. Let me just double check. So I go back and thank you. But you'll see here on the left, I have Outlook. I create a folder for every client and every transaction. Any communication, even if it's little, I blind CC myself and I stick it in there. To stand out, I send them an email, I'm blind CC'd, and then I get it, and then it goes right into the Hunter's Glen folder here. So what you do is just up at the top, folder, here's new folder. So you hit new, you type in, what I do is when I first get a client, I'll put in their name. So it would have been Kay and Jim Wagner. They contacted me probably 6 months ago. So I knew they were going to be a buyer moving here from Boston, but we hadn't had a property yet. So I create a folder for them. So again, like they could be telling me, emailing me, contact information, what's important to them. Again, I don't want to go back and ask them, oh, I forgot. Do you want a 3-car garage or, you know, whatever. I ask all these things. Put it in there. So if I need to reference, again, you know, it could be weeks go by and I forget. So I want to remember everything. So I put it in there. And then once they go into escrow, I move their Kay and Jim into their property. So it's all there. And then what I do is, so at the end of the year, let's see. See, I've got all kinds of stuff here. Here's just different transactions. I've got AID coaching. I've got CPP agents. Whatever I want, I have a folder for. I have one for travel, you know. So you do for whatever you want. And you know where it's going to be. But look here. It's probably hard to see, but I have also for close. So close 2016, 17, and 18. So when the transaction is closed, also like if they're getting a home warranty, the TC always sends you confirmation, here's your home warranty. That's one of the #1 things. They're like, oh, something happened, I can't find the home warranty information. I stick it in the folder so I know it's there. It takes me 2 seconds. I can find it because it's in their folder, because you just look up home warranty and it pops right up. But anyway, so anytime something's closed, I stick it in there for the year. So again, if you can keep track and all the addresses are in there.
Like your whole file, all the communication you had with them, all the documents, you put that all into,
Yes.
like a sub file goes into the
Exactly.
file. Got it. Okay.
When you know, all the disclosures, just anything and everything. You know, I mean, the TC obviously is keeping keeping the disclosures, a copy of the home warranty. But, you know, sometimes you just need to reference it. They're not available. It's just, I have a complete thing. And the thing is if you ever end up in court, okay, and you can show that you do this for every file, it's going to protect you. And also, if you have communication, what was agreed to, like even an agent said, okay, they're going to do this or that, you know, and it's like, okay, we said we'll do this. It's in writing. If you ever, hey, you did agree to this, I have the email. Come on in, Rose. Okay. So it's just, it's great to have. Yeah, just grab a chair. So anyway, it's so good to have. And once you get in the habit of doing it, it's like it's automatic. And then sometimes too is I'll also like if it's something important, like the client acknowledging this, okay? You definitely, acknowledgement is key. You want to show that you sent it, but also that they're acknowledging. And if they're acknowledging something that's important, like they understand that this might happen or that might happen, like, you know, you might get a notice to perform or, you know, something, whatever, and they acknowledge it. Well, you also want to make sure Shanda or whoever your TC is has it for their file. So I'll send it when they, you know, acknowledge, I'll send it to them. Please put in the communication log of your file. So it's going to be in both places. Again, that way if you ever end up in court, you can show this is what I do for every file. They will weigh that. So anyway, okay. So that's my my big thing. Rose, we're talking about a folder for each property, each client. Keep you organized. Okay. Okay. So that's my like huge thing. All right. Escrow timeline. I think you all
Yes.
got that. But again, what I do is I have a PDF. Okay, so let's see. Oh, this is just so, how do I make this, how do I make this smaller? I guess.
Do your command.
Oh, wait. Oh, home. Never mind here. I'm looking up there. Okay. So, look. Okay. So, what was I saying in here? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, attach file. So, again, I've got it in here somewhere. Oh, here, escrow timeline. So, but it's in my documents. So, anytime I open an escrow, or even if I meet with a client ahead of time, I will send them just so, or you, even at an open house, you can have this. Hey, are you familiar with the timelines once you do get into escrow? Again, the smarter you sound, the more people want to work with you. So here's the escrow timeline. Day one, you know, this, so it just takes you through the whole 17 or 21 days. And then of course there's a note at the end, at the bottom that, you know, timelines can be subject to your changing. Everybody's, you know, could be different. But anyway, so so the escrow timeline is huge. Find a CRM you like. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I added 2 links here. A couple people use Follow Up Boss. Yeah.
I've used that.
So it's very reasonable. I think it's $79 a month, or you can prepay. But basically, you know, again, for those of you that don't know what a CRM is, all your contacts go in there. It will automatically, a lot of them will automatically text for you. They'll send auto notifications. Hey, you need to talk to them at this point. We have conversion here. If you are interested in that, it does automatic emails out. Sometimes you're like, whoops, you know, because it says you want to make an appointment, and it says, yes, I want to Saturday, and I'm not available. I'm like, uh-oh. It just automatically does things. And that's great for somebody that's just lukewarm. You just met them at an open house. You haven't really, you're not ready. So you can, it just, you know, how are you doing, you know, on your search, or, you know, just ask random things. But anyway, so it's a great thing. People are always asking about CRMs. The other one, and the reason we don't have one specific is, number one, it should be your CRM. It just should be, okay? It shouldn't be a company CRM, because God forbid, you know, we lose you, which I hope we don't, but it happens, you know, from time to time. Why would you want something that's connected to a company? And then you have everything, you know, your lifeline is right there. And then some companies, that's what they hold you on to. They want that so that it's harder for you to leave. But anyway, we don't work that way. So Shebang is a newer one. I've heard really, really great things about that one, and there's tutorials online and so forth. So if you want to reach out to Lauren to get more information on pricing and so forth, you know, just let us know. But anyway, it's all really good, and that's like a really great thing to keep you organized. Oh, okay. So go to the next page. This is what I do for when I'm working with a seller, when I'm working with a buyer. If you send over, let's say you've got a seller, you get an offer. Hey, we got a great offer. Here, see the attached. It's like, what the heck am I looking at, right?
Yeah.
Heather, are you laughing because you just did that? But, you know, beyond the purchase price, what else is there? This is called covering your butt also, because, and this better be blind CC'd and in your folder, because there's stuff here like, if you'll see, I have the purchase price, and I love bullet points because it's easy for me, because I am kind of dyslexic, and if I have to read a whole thing, it just doesn't make sense. It gets boggled. But keep it simple, and just like with recipes for me. If it's all like a few and it's whatever, I'm great with it, but if it gets too complicated, you lost me and I'll never make it. So same thing here. So purchase price $1 million, deposit $30,000, close of escrow 28 days. Buyers are allowing you to stay for free for up to 30 days after close of escrow. If you want, buyers are, for another 30 days for $3,400 if you need. You are asked to provide termite clearance. You are being asked to provide a home warranty up to $700, and I just in parentheses, this is standard. Buyers are asking for washer, dryer, refrigerator to be included with sale. Now, this is super important to put in there because your clients are busy too. And they're, you know, crazy. Do you think they remember half of what you say? That's why you want to have it in writing that, here, I sent this to you, it says it. So if they say, we were taking our refrigerator. You didn't tell us that. Yes, I did. So anyway, protecting you. And then I always put this on. All timelines are standard, you know, talk about the timeline. So if they're standard, you know, let them know. Usually what I'll say is 17 days, but then 21 days for, you know, so I'll usually go into more specifics. Or if they're tightened up, you can say, hey, they're tightened up here and so forth. And then of course I put on here again, as discussed, until buyer removes all contingencies, we don't have a certain deal, meaning they can back out and get their deposit back. So again, like if that's important, you know, and then of course I put a little note here, this is a good buyer and good start. And then again, for a buyer, I've got, here's the purchase price, 3% deposit, loan amount is this to match Sean's pre-approval. Close of escrow at this date, fridge and washer dryer to be included. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So again, so that it keeps it simple for the buyer. So I do that with every single one. You know, anything that's in there, that's what I do. Okay. This one, this was covered over our last one. So anybody doesn't have this, it's now on the back page or whatever, but this is so great if you're going to a listing. Then it's just a reminder checklist for you to ask certain things. You know what I'm just thinking here too? I should have on there, if there's a refrigerator in the garage, you better ask too, is that staying or not? And if it's not, what you can do to remind yourself, if they say, no, the refrigerator in the garage or the drapes are not staying or something, you can go into your zip forms and just under a seller counter, put it in there already when it's fresh in your mind now, because what if it takes 30, 60 days and you forget you might have put it in the MLS, but then you forget to put it in the counter. Well, so just do it right away as a reminder. So I'll do that too. I don't trust myself. So anyway, so hopefully this helps you. Went over escrow timeline. Oh, the other thing that I do is for me also, you know, because we all meet people that they're awesome, but they're not ready till next year and this and that. So do you have a calendar that you put things in? Yeah? Because I have my little reminders that come up. So, and I use Outlook. So it's great. I need to call this person, and then I'll make a note, because again, I could meet somebody, talk to somebody, and I put their kids' names in there. I put the company that they're because you just forget. So I'll put all my notes in there so I know what's going on.
Follow Up Boss has that. It asks all those questions about like their family dynamics, and then you set notifications in there, so you can say reach out in 6 months, reach out, and you can set dates with notes to remind yourself.
Which is awesome. Really also probably afterwards too, like, hey, it's their 1 year anniversary, and so forth. Yeah. So that's that's a really good one. Don't let me forget also to talk about the calendar for Sphere and reaching out. So don't let me forget that one. Okay. Andy, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So zip forms checklist tasks. Do we need to have it up here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up Susan's up.
Oh,
If that's okay.
Yeah.
Since I have mine set up already.
Yeah, I'm going to close this so that I don't have these notification things. Close.
Car, yeah.
Okay.
And I'll just log in.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to get up.
Okay, don't watch me type. Okay, so one of my favorite things that I have recently discovered is, I like to try and keep all my information in one spot instead of having to go to this system and that system and here and there and everywhere and try and figure out what I've got to do for the day. So what I did is I took Susan's checklist. So we have a listing checklist, and then we have our escrow checklist. So I took all those and just put them into zip forms and created templates that I can just add to a transaction, just depending on what stage you're at. So if it's a listing, then you've got the listing checklist. Let me go in there. I'll go to my templates. So I have a seller in escrow checklist. I have a buyer in escrow checklist, and then a seller listing checklist. So it's really super easy to set these up. Then you come over. So I just opened up the template. You come over here to checklist, and it's right here. You can add a new checklist right here. And if you want, we can share with you guys what we have, what we do with Amy and Susan, if that would help you guys, so that you're able to set up your own. And you just set up your own time frames, however it is that you want it. So tasks before going live on the MLS. I break mine up into categories so that I know, okay, this is what I got to do before we go live. And then further down I have after we go live. So once I get done with that category, I know I'm done, and I wait until the next step is ready to be completed. We gave you guys instructions on how to set these up, but I'll just go through it super quick here. To create a new task right here. I'm just going to pretend like, well, I'll just do it, and then I just won't save it. So you create your task name. You can put whether it's a fixed date or relative. I always put relative. And once you go into your transaction, you've got that summary page. When you plug in your dates for your contract date, your listing date, your expiration date, stuff like that, it's going to pull from those dates and say, okay, this is the date that this is due. So the relative is always good, but if you have to go in there after the fact and change it to a set date, it's really easy. Just go back into the record and change it. You can do a responsible party. If you assign this to somebody, they're going to get emails. So I just leave it blank. I'm in there pretty much every day, so I don't need an email reminder. But if you feel that you need one, you can assign it to yourself, and then it'll remind you. It'll send you an email.
I assign them to myself, and because I like the email as a reminder. So just in case you don't get in there, you have it on your phone or wherever to look.
Well, it'll still come up if you log into your zip forms too.
Yeah, because like if you have more than one transaction going on, like even if you have a checklist, you can forget to, oh my gosh, today was the day that I needed contingency removal, or today is the day that I really should order the termite because we got contingency removal, or this isn't marked off or whatever. So, or this task isn't completed yet. So you can set the reminders so that you stay on it, especially when you get bogged down with multiple transactions, which you all are going to be having very soon. When you leave here, they're all going to pop up, and so you'll have like 3 or 4 going at one time by the end of the year, and then it's just a lot to remember. So you want to make sure that you've got the reminders. So again, you're not panicking because it's helping you keep.
So I'll show you. I don't have much in there this week. So this is my task list. So once I go up here and select tasks, click on that, it shows me what I've got due for the week. If you click on urgent task here, everything in red is what's urgent. I've already done this stuff, I just haven't checked it off yet. So that it'll give you the date, or not the date, but the address for the transaction, so you know exactly which property you're dealing with. I have another one set up there, tasks to be completed. So these are tasks that are not associated with the property, but they're things that I have to do. I just found this to be easier for me than going from to Outlook or spreadsheets or whatever it is I'm doing. So I just plug it in here and it just keeps me on task. You can do a calendar view. Oh, come on, get in there. Why is that not working? Okay, I'm skipping that. Okay, so templates. Now I want transactions. So I do mine a little bit different. Right here, so if you keep track of all your dates in here, plug them in. Like I said, it's automatically going to apply the date to your template once you apply it to your transaction. Also, keep your parties in there. Make sure everybody's in there. I would put, your buyer's phone numbers, email addresses, whatnot. And then in your checklist, I'm going to go to completed and apply. So I'm going to show you what I've done here. So these are all the tasks that I've worked on. Over here to the right, you'll see description. I write my little notes over there so I can quickly look and see, okay, what did I do there? Okay, I don't need to do anything right there, and move on to the next one. And then once you finish each task, you'll mark it. Oh, why is... There we go. This is where you mark your statuses at. And then, like I said, if you have something that you need to... Oh, here's where I put my notes. So they show up over there on the right. If you need to add another task that's just kind of out of the norm or whatever, like I said, you can just do it right from inside your transaction. Right there. Create a new task. But this is just a quick, simple, fast way to stay on task. What do you got to do next? Look over here. What did you do? What do you need to do? It's just super easy.
And there's probably I'm sure a webinar or something, if you forget and you wanna.
No, I'm self-taught.
Of course, well, you're in, but I mean for the rest, there's probably some sort of tutorial.
You know what, No,
Maybe
there.
not? No?
I looked, yeah. I just kind of stumbled upon this. I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
And
well,
so I just
we
started
get
putting
busy
it
and we
together.
forget there's actually a lot of really good things.
Yeah, there
on
might be,
there.
but I don't know.
Yeah, and I've gotten on it by accident, whatever they put me on. Allison, you put me on. And I was like, I'm getting all these emails, you know, and no, it's fine, but it was actually really cool because it's showing me, okay, there's an update or reminder, and it's very handy.
Yeah.
Just
And it's
to
super
remember.
easy for you and Susan to log into the account and
Right.
see, oh, okay, this is what happened, or what, or if I'm out sick or Allison's out sick, I can jump right into her system and just
Right.
go from there.
Right, yeah. Even just like follow up with, title, like there was a question about something, or follow up on a repair, or, whatever it is. Follow up with the seller to make sure they did these things. So it's really
And for
good.
Amy, I created like a separate file, like Andy did, like Allison's task, and I said, don't delete this.
Yeah.
But that's where I put all that, follow up with AC company, follow up with seller or something, if it's not property specific.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it either way. I'm still toying with, do I keep it under the property or for little things like, call Dar about a check or something.
Yeah.
I don't know that I need that in the listing, that's really just me,
Yeah.
in the property, just more of my daily stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Or that is an Outlook thing too, you could do, but
Yeah.
just as long as you're doing it, it just,
The best system to use is the one you're going to use.
yes.
So you just have to find out what works best for you.
Gosh.
And I did use Outlook, but I have a Mac at home, and that doesn't jive very well.
They don't.
That's why I
They
went
don't
to
sync
this.
very well. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that with the zip forms on my phone, with the iPhone, it works. I can find
And
it
then you can
anywhere.
easily log in with your
Yeah.
cell phone.
So that
Look
way
at your
I always
tasks,
have
send
that.
documents. I also use this as the overall filing cabinet. So prior assistants before me used to store all the files on the computer. I use it, I put everything on zip forms. I've got it broken down into subfolders, so if I have documents that need signatures, those are in there. If they're fully executed, there's a folder for that. And then when you go to send documents into DocuSign, you can choose your folder. So let's say you're sending a document out for final signatures. When it gets completed and everything's signed, it bounces back to the fully executed document. So you don't even have to do anything. You don't have to download it, you don't have to move it, nothing.
That's cool.
The other thing that I did too is, because I have used a lot of CRMs, I've used Top Producer, I've used Wise Agent, Elevated Network. Did I say Top Producer? Top Producer, Chime, Elevated Network, Wise Agent. Okay, so yeah, so I've got my experience with building CRMs in the background. Biggest thing is remembering to follow up 90 days from now, a year from now, 2 years from now. So you can see here that I set up Susan's, set up 7, 30 and 90-day reminders, and then we got our e-cards for the 1 year, for the 2 year, and then same thing, if you want to do a 5-year follow-up or a 10-year follow-up, whatever you want to do, just put it in here and it will remind you when it's time. So this is a no-cost type, really basic CRM, but if you want to go like super robust and like top producer is not for the technically challenged. Like it's really
It used to be, and then they
it's-
changed it, and
it's
like,
really in depth, yeah. So if
Yeah.
you have a systems type
Yeah.
of mind, it might work for you. But if
Yeah.
you're not tech savvy with it,
Well, I think these two ones that I gave you are pretty
Super
simple.
basic, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're easy to learn. But go on and look, they all give you free trials also. So you can do a trial, like 7-day, 14-day, and see what you think.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
don't have one.
But if you don't have the money right now, you just want to go no cost. You know, this is free for you to use. Just set it up and do your reminders. You might have to do your emails manually, but at least you'll get the reminder.
Anybody have any questions for Andy or Allison while they're here?
Is there a way you can share the checklist, like what items you have on there?
Yeah, we've got a printout.
Yeah. I think that would be helpful if we could send.
Yeah. If you just email me, Andy, ANDIE, at coastalpremier.com, and then I can send it out to you.
And then some of the things like Susan has on hers, Amy doesn't want on, so you
Yeah.
can just fix it and take or add whatever you need.
Yeah.
Basically, they're the same.
Yeah, I think we have
There's a
like
couple
85
things.
tasks that we do for a listing.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, there's a lot there. A lot to keep track of. Trying to think, is there anything else? Already went over that.
The other thing, I don't have the form that I was, for some reason I couldn't find it, but basically what it is it's a Outlook calendar, and it's 12 months. So you print 12 months worth of your calendars. We went to a seminar, and I encourage you to go to seminars. Tom Ferry, Travis Robertson, we've gone as a group to several of his. Anything that's going to help you get like just one or two tidbits. It's very, if you look at the whole picture and what there's so much information, but if you can walk away with one or two things, it's really great. And if you see anything or hear something that sounds good, let us know, and maybe we can get a group. It's always nice to go, together. But one of the people, the agents that was talking at Travis's last 2 events, he's from Canada. He has in his sphere and past clients, like 100 people. That's it. A really small, relatively small list. And I think he's been an agent for 15 years or so. He doesn't do any marketing except reaching out to his past clients and sphere. He's religious about it, and he does, I think 12 to 24, I think 24 touches a year, including like a couple different client events. But he averages 48 plus transactions a year, from referrals, from repeat business and so forth. And what you should be doing right now, and what most agents don't do, and it's pretty basic and it's so easy, is you don't plan ahead. You're like, what am I doing? What should I be doing? Oh my goodness. So the agents that are most successful, they have a plan. They have a system. And they know well in advance what they're doing. So just like this guy, and what he does basically doesn't cost a lot. And for a lot of people that are, either just starting, where your budgets aren't, large, you can set up your plan. You figure out what you can do if you are doing, like, even we talked about one of the agents last year did a kind of a neighborhood get-together. They got a food truck that everybody they bought their own, food, but they had a food truck, and I think they supplied desserts and maybe a water stand, and they organized the whole thing. Well, oh my gosh, the response was huge. Everybody had so much fun. and then her kids help with like face painting and just different things. And she got at least 1 or 2 transactions from it. So, but if you plan your year, and this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to, like, for those of you that have a huge sphere, oh my gosh. I'm like, and I am doing this week, right, Allison?
Yes.
I am creating my list of phone numbers of all the people that I need to, you know, reach out more hands-on. And to me, in the way we are now, it's texting, right? Email, you get, I mean, I don't know, I know, you know, this is what we do, but I get like 200 emails a day, and I have 2 accounts, and usually each one is the same. It's crazy. So I'm just flying through, and I'm tired, and I'm sure our clients are too. But text messages, you see your text message. So, and I'm not saying to do it once a week, but the system that Brandon did that great video on, oh my gosh, it's so affordable. And if once a month, you know, you could be reaching out to your list of the ones that you want to be contacting, and it's very vague, and it's 1 message and 1 text, and it goes out to everybody. Thinking of you, hope you guys have hope you have an amazing fall season, or happy Halloween, or, you know, happy Thanksgiving, just thinking about you, hope you enjoy your family and friends. You know, New Year's, oh my gosh, I was out today, found this amazing investment property. If you or anybody you know is looking for investment property that is basically cash positive, which is hard to find in California, let me know. I mean, right? Half the time, a lot of people, they perceive that, I know a lot of our clients, oh, I didn't know you go down here or go here, or you would take a condo. I thought you were too busy. Right? That people perceive different things about you. So you need to let them know you're there. If you're at an open house, it's a great way to reach out and say, hey, I'm at this property today from 2 to 4. It's awesome. Stop by and see me. Or if you know anybody that's interested in a single story in Carlsbad, it's fantastic. You know, I mean, it's a no-brainer. So, and then, you know, your holiday card. So what you should be doing now is you should be having your calendar, and you should write down every touch that you're going to be making. If you are a door knocker, or you do mailers, or whatever you're going to be doing, it should also be on there. So you know ahead of time from 9 a.m. to noon, this is what I'm doing. You put your phone away, you put it on mute so you can't hear the text messages, you can't hear the phone calls or anything. Let your kids know, your husband know, hey, I'm not picking up, I'm not even looking at my phone from this time to this time, because this is my focus, my 2 hours of power. You would be amazed how much more you're going to get done. You're going to be less stressed because you already know what you're doing. Does everybody commit to doing that? You are going to be amazed at how busy you get, how many more transactions you do. Because again, look at all the people you know that are doing, you know, let's say even 24 transactions a year, which is a great, I'm not talking the mega agents, you know, doing 50 plus or whatever. But just, you know, whatever you think is a great number that you'd be really happy with, they're not just winging it. They have a system. They have probably multiple systems, and they're focused, and they have blinders on, and they're just sticking to the systems. For example, also, you know, sometimes people try to change it up. They're like, oh, well, I need a special message or something. And then you get bogged down. What am I going to say in my next postcard or something? People that are receiving it are not looking at it like you are. They're looking at it, you know, basically like, what did my neighbor's house sell for? Pretty much. Or just seeing you in their mailbox over and over again. There's agents here in Carmel Valley, husband and wife team that many of you know. Their marketing is nothing exciting, but it has stayed the exact same. Their picture has stayed the exact same. They haven't changed that much, but right, for at least 15 years, I don't know. So nothing's changed, and that's a good, in marketing, that's, you know, you want to be recognizable. If all of a sudden they change their picture or, you know, the coloring, then people might not recognize them. So,
What is the texting thing that we talked about in the past? You talked about it before, but the thing that it's an app or a thing you pay for?
So it's a website called textline.com,
Okay.
and it's $35.99 a month if you pay per month. So if you're just going to send out one text, maybe you could just do it for 1 month or whatever.
Text line.
But it's $29.99 a month if you do it, sign up for a year, and then it costs 0.009 cents per text, so almost a penny per text to send. And you can send from your own telephone number, and then it has a platform on the back end where you'll send out with like one click of the button, you know, to everybody in your sphere. But then it's not a group text, so it goes, it texts each individual individually, and then those people can text back, and you can respond from your computer, from your keyboard, to individual text messages. And then so you might get 20 responses, and you go back in and you respond to each individual person.
So it comes back, it comes from my number to them
That's right.
individually?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
And if you need help setting that up, let me know. But textline.com.
isn't that
and-
cool? I mean,
Awesome.
just think about it. I mean, it's daunting to me to go through I don't know how many contacts I have on my phone. It's probably 500, I don't know. And half of them I'm like, oh my God, I haven't thought about them in a long time. But just think if you have, you know, and some people you don't want, but you just make your list. And again, you just have to, you know, even like a Sunday morning, just go through all the sales you've had, or you go through, you know, you don't have to look at the whole thing. And that's the thing, people, they look at the whole picture and then they get, it's too much, or I don't have time.
You get analysis paralysis.
Exactly. Just do. So just say, okay, I'm going to take this week 2 letters, depends how many, you know, for me it might be 2 or 3 letters. I'm going to go through the alphabet and I'm just going to do it 3 letters at a time. You know, I'm going to start with all the A's, B's, and C's. Get through that list, make my list, which I have to do, and I'm going to do it. And then just keep going down to you're at Z. And then of course you want to continue to add, you know, any new clients, anybody maybe that you meet at an open house that you've got a good connection with. You know, it's so reasonable.
And also on that texting app, you can categorize all your contacts. So just like Amy said, if you don't want to reach out to everybody, maybe you categorize families versus friends versus past clients or potential next buyers or potential next sellers. And you categorize them, and then you send out a message to that group, so just to your next sellers.
How awesome is that too? Like you have your, you know, people that are just lukewarm or whatever, just thinking about you. It's been a while. Any properties you want to go see this weekend? I mean,
And I just want to say this system, this texting system that Brandon's found, I've actually used a few different ones prior. And what I did not like is it did like a 5-digit code. It showed that it was coming from a 5-digit code or it was some random number. So they didn't know it was me. Unless I put Andy Ford, Coastal Premier Properties, as, you know, in the signature of the text. There was no way that they would know that with me. So the fact that you can use your phone number with the system that he found, I mean, that is huge.
Yeah,
That's
I don't know
awesome.
if you ever see our text messages coming in from the company, but they come from the office phone number.
My husband
So-
just got one this morning about joining CPP on his phone, and he
Oh.
starts laughing, and he's like, "Did you send this to me?" I'm like, "No."
I don't know what that was.
wait, was it through Facebook or was it a text?
I think it was I don't even know.
Talk to me, because I would be interested to find out.
Yeah, tell them to let us know that
I was
text.
like, maybe they want you too, honey.
Yeah. Well, Brandon's always doing stuff, so.
Yeah, I'll find out.
Yeah,
I'll find
yeah,
out how
yeah,
you
yeah.
would.
So I just wanted to show you guys really quick, if you haven't heard of Glide.
Oh, yes.
Glide is free through CAR. And as soon as I saw, I'm like, oh, what's this? So it's so that you can send out your TDS and your SPQ, because we all know what a nightmare those are.
Oh my gosh, this is wonderful.
for
Yes, I
sellers.
forgot about this. Okay.
Yeah, so as soon as I saw that they were offering that, I jumped on, signed Susan up, and started testing it on myself. But it's super easy. One of the things that I really like is that it does keep track of who's, like, it'll show that, it shows Susan logged in, but it was actually me. And then it shows the seller, what she did. So it keeps track there. But it's
But
really...
the best part about it is, I mean, forgetting about keeping track, you send all your disclosures and your client can do them online. They don't have to write them. So first of all.
Well, right now, Glide just has these two available. They don't have the rest of the disclosure
But
packet.
most of these are huge
But
ones.
these are huge.
The SPQ
Yeah,
and the
because the
TDS
other
that
ones
they
you can just send through DocuSign
Right,
and do it that way.
yeah.
So to set up a new one, you just hit New Packet right here. All you really need, so you have your seller disclosure forms, is the address to the property and the APN number. And then, of course, your seller's name and email address is pretty much all you need. Let's see if I can, do I have one in here that I've, let's see. There was a couple in here I was toying around with, so. So you just select which ones you want to send, hit continue, and then you add your seller right here, and then continue. You can write a little message there, or just leave it as they have it. And it's probably going to give me an error because it wasn't a good email.
That takes you
Okay.
to disclosures and then you fill it out, right?
Yeah, so when it goes to them, as you know, trying to do a DocuSign on your phone is awful. You can't hardly read any of the documents. When these come through on their phone, it almost has the look and feel of an app. You know, it's easily readable. They check this box. If they check something yes or something that needs an explanation, it will prompt them to write the explanation. If they get all the way through it and they've missed something, it'll instruct them to go back and answer that question. So there's not
pretty
a
cool.
lot of having to email documents back and forth to try and get them complete. They can flag a question. Like I had one lady, she wasn't sure when her house was built, so she flagged it. And then I called her and let her know, oh, it was built in 1975. And she has to go back in and fix it. You can't. And then once it's done, you'll get an email saying it's been completed. You go in. You can either download the PDF. I just sync it with Zip Forms. It automatically goes over to Zip Forms, puts all her answers in the correct places, and then you just DocuSign it out for signatures.
How does that syncing occur?
When you set up your account, it'll ask you if you want to sync it to your Zip Forms. Super easy. But yeah, it's like 2 minutes max.
So what if I already set it up and I've used this? How do I go back to sync it?
Go into your account settings.
Okay. So
Yeah.
give me that option.
And it should give you, if you've sent it out, and you go in and check it, it should ask you, do you want to just download this or do you want to send it to Zip Forms?
And if you guys want, if you have like, you want to bring laptops in and, like 30 minutes or something, I'm sure we can arrange, Andy could walk you through it to, set things up. I mean, also like in your Zip Forms, you should have your market condition advisory just right in there. The CPP affiliated business right in there. That way you're not, I mean, it's easy if it's uploaded as well, but if it's in there, it's just easy. So anything else?
Yeah, for
that's
Zip
important?
Forms, for your documents, for your transactions, if you don't have a template set up with all of your redundant information, your name, your email address, company name. There's certain things like in a listing agreement and in a purchase offer that are pretty much the same. You can go in and just automatically check those. It'll automatically be applied to any transaction that you do, whether it's a purchase or a listing. And then as you're doing, like, if it's an offer, let's say, you know, this one, we don't want to ask for the refrigerator, so you just uncheck it. But at least it's always checked to remind you to ask yourself a question or to sell it.
Yeah, so
Or the
but if there's anything that you're like, hey, I'm not techie, I would love to be able to bring my laptop in here and get me all set up, let us know, because we can do that. Yeah, yeah.
I'd be glad to help you.
Yeah, and then the other thing too, also, it's not really a system, but it's kind of a reminder, somebody brought this up to me, because I actually don't really look at myself online, you know, like, look at yourself, what are people seeing? It's a good thing to do. So, you know, if you had a previous career but you want to be known as a realtor now, make sure you're showing up as a realtor. You know, and make sure your profiles are good. So, you know, you've got a bio, you've got, you know, make sure it just looks professional in the way you want. And if you're newer and you don't have any transactions, you don't have any reviews, don't worry about it. You know, everybody's been there. So you just start with, you know, if you know, close your first transaction, send them a link. And a lot of times what Susan and I will do is, people are busy. Some people are really great and they'll write a review. Other people are like, you know, they're not going to. I will write the review and I'll say, hey, I know you're busy. I just kind of went ahead and wrote something up. Feel free to edit it. And, you know, would so appreciate it, because now, as you know, people are online. And they'll cut and paste it, put it on, and it's done. You gotta make it easy for people. So you want to provide the link and you want to provide verbiage if they need it. And so if you send it and they don't do it the one time, then set yourself up a reminder, you know, 10 days later, hey, don't know if you saw this, you know, let me know if you want me to draft something based on our experience. I'm happy to do it for you. And most of the time they're going to be like, sure. So, and then before you know it, you just, you know, you get, you know, it adds up. And, you know, if you, you know, you're working with a title rep, or you work with a lender, or even somebody that's just known you for 30 years, I mean, you know, they can be a review too. They can be, you know, talk about how, you know, great you are, Rose. I've known you for 30 years and she's the most, you know, on it, caring, always looking out for our best interests and so forth. So, you know, you want to get up there, and then, you know, as far as transactions, that will come, is what it is. People hire you, so that's what you want to remember.
And we in marketing can help you with that as well. Once
Yes.
if you close deals, let us know if you need help getting those reviews. We're happy to provide you an email or a sample of what to send them. And also with your sphere that we're talking about and your past client list, one thing that you may want to do, anybody that's in your phone or in your email contacts, most social media platforms have apps that you can upload all your email contacts or all your phone numbers, and it will add everybody to LinkedIn or Facebook that has those email addresses or those phone numbers associated with their accounts. So you can easily you know, bring all your offline contacts online.
Oh, that's cool. So wait, say that again. Come here, Grant. Just because for people that are recording, no, that are, you know, watching. Okay, so this is a good one.
So most social media platforms have applications where you can, with the click of a button, upload all your phone numbers or all your email addresses, and any social media accounts that are associated with those phone numbers or email addresses, it will send them an invite to connect. So you can take all your contacts that you may have offline and try to bring them online. So then where you're just trying to stay in front of them on a regular basis, your social media profiles are showing up in front of them, you know, consistently.
So let me ask you something. Would this be helpful if we said, okay, you know, Friday morning or Monday morning, we're taking 15 minutes to just walk you through how to do that? or bring in your laptop and you want to learn how to just get things uploaded.
Yes, I need that.
Yeah, so, cause I mean, saying it sounds amazing and then you go home and you're like, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
So
And
why
you-
don't we do that?
Yeah.
Because I mean, honestly, that's a great thing for, I'm thinking I don't do that, you know, with LinkedIn.
Mhm.
You know, people find me, cause you know, when LinkedIn is smart, so if you're emailing back and forth, you're gonna show up, but, that would be great, cause I mean, certainly, you know, we all have a lot of people we're connected with.
Okay. Well, we'll schedule a time
Mhm.
for everybody to bring in their laptops, and we'll do that then. So
Yeah,
sounds good.
yeah, okay, awesome. And anything else you need help with, let us know and we'll do that. So I'll write that down. So anybody else have any questions? We're like, just over an hour. Hope it was good. Yeah.
Thank
Good. Anybody have anything that they do that they want to share? That wasn't covered? Anyway, just,
Oh, I have a question, Amy. I didn't know how to get a testimonial, so I went and asked my buyers after we closed. And I said, how did you find how I communicated with you?
uh-huh.
And I just asked a number of questions and I wrote down what they said. But then I
Uh-huh.
thought, well, what do I do with this?
Ah.
So you said you put it in a link or
Well,
something?
no. Well, what you do is obviously you want to have a profile, and it could be Google, it could be
Okay.
Zillow. I mean, to me, I mean, there's a lot of people that are like down on Zillow, but the number one place that people go to search and look up people, it's not Yelp. I mean, some people do get leads from Yelp, but most people, you know, they go to real estate apps, and Zillow is the number one, and they do read reviews. So
Okay.
there's a link that we have, and we have a whole, we can send you what we send out. But basically, you don't have to ask them the questions. You're letting them know that, you know, you appreciate their business. You're so grateful to have the opportunity to work with them. As you know, so many people are online and they review, you know, they look at reviews. So if I would love it, I would so appreciate it if you would write a review when you have a moment. Now, sometimes it's good to do this after the contingencies are removed and they haven't closed yet, because once they've closed, it can be crazy. So, so if I haven't done that, then maybe I wait a month, then ask, or 3 weeks or something, because you know once they close, their mind is like nuts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that's what you want to do, and then they do it. Now, again, if it's somebody that's just not doing it, you could ask, hey, do you mind if I write the review based on our experience, and so forth. And you can go on our, you know, on Zillow and look at our reviews, and a lot of them were written, but most of them were written by clients, but the ones, there's plenty that, you know, I drafted.
Yeah.
And you probably can't tell.
He was wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Awesome.